Bonjour, bonjour les amis, bienvenue en France. Bienvenue à Marseille in southern France where I am spending a few days. This is a big city, the second largest in France, and many tourists never make it here. It's a shame. Marseille has a lot to offer. I decided today to take you to a special place, a place that has been in the city and a well-known name in this city for over 250 years. This is a business known as Maison Empereur. You can see it right behind me. We're going to learn today about French life, French traditions, which is what I like to share with you through a wonderful store. We're also going to learn how to pronounce once and for all a word that often defeats students of the French language, and that word is quincaillerie. Quincaillerie, which means a hardware store. Originally, the business started right by the port, which is not too far from here, the famous Vieux Port de Marseille, where the founder of this dynasty was a craftsman. Eventually, the business moved here at this location, where it occupies an entire block and several floors, and it became a thriving business. Today, Maison Empereur represents French heritage to a lot of locals and visitors as well. Maison Empereur has over 50,000 products, representing more than 250 old-fashioned traditional French maisons or manufacturers. A lot of the French brands you already know are in there, you can be sure of it. But this is such an interesting place. It's taking a trip back in time, of course. It's also discovering a business that values its relationship with customers, its enduring relationship with customers. And I hope you follow me today on this special tour where we're going to talk about Maison Empereur, but also, of course, about French life, French traditions, the transmission, the importance of transmission, and a few more things as well. So follow me inside, follow the tour guide. We're going to go inside at Maison Empereur. I will mention one last thing. It is not allowed to film or take photos inside, and I am very proud that Madame Empereur, the current owner, has allowed me to film this show today just for you, so we can all visit together. Are you ready? Follow the tour guide. Maison Empereur. Empereur, of course, being the family name, the last name of the founder of this dynasty, which is now in its 7th generation, with almost the 8th generation coming in. Everything you need in your daily life in a home is here. We're going to brush up on a few French words as well. We are here in the department known as la coutellerie. La coutellerie is, of course, all the knives, the different knives. And like I said, they sell over 250 brands here, French brands as well as foreign brands as well, but all relying on top quality. You know some of these brands already if you have an Opinel knife or other brands as well. So this is your coutellerie, the knife department. Now keep in mind that this business has existed for 250 years, now in its 7th generation. A lot of the employees, they have about 30 to 40, have been here for a long time, and it's all based on transmission. So the senior employees, who seem to be really proud to work here, typically train the new ones and so forth. That is a tradition, transmission in craftsmanship for artisans, as you know. If you take a few steps here in the section of the building, you arrive in the section you will enjoy if you are a cook. You'll recognize some brands like Le Creuset, of course. Look at this, a cook's dream come true. Everything you need. You see this pan, this frying pan here with holes in it, that's so you can roast some chestnuts on the fire. Top quality objects, of course. Le Creuset is up there as well. And because Spain is not that far away, you have the traditional dish to make paella here. You see the different sizes? We're going to talk about tradition. We're going to talk also about taking a trip back in time. There's a lot of nostalgia when you come here. You can see they have branded products. They sell cooking aprons that say Maison Empereur. They also have the dishcloths that you can use at home. So these are small gifts that are easy to take home. I will mention that this is not a paid partnership between France with Vero and La Maison Empereur. I chose to come here because I know this business. I've shopped here before, and I just want to showcase their products and the traditions they represent. This section here is incredible because there are so many small objects. I don't know who takes the inventory at Maison Empereur, but whoever does probably keeps very busy. Look at all these objects. You can find just about everything here. Still for the kitchen, for the home. I also like that they have here on the ceiling hanging those curtains that you see in so many southern homes in France. A lot of these are meant to keep the bugs, the flies out. So remember that air conditioning is not always a thing here, and in the summer, if the door stays open, you need to block out insects. Here's a spice blend, Rabelais. I come from the Touraine region in the Loire Valley, as you know, and Rabelais in the 16th century was a famous writer there. And this is a blend that they sell. So you can use it, for example, if you make pâtés or terrines, it's a spice blend, and they call it les épices Rabelais. So you have some very cool little products too. In fact, people will buy things here even if they don't really need something because it's so much fun. Bonjour. Well, these are cocotiers, les cocotiers to make your soft-boiled eggs. Cocotiers, see, they come in many different colors and they're made of wood, clearly. And everywhere you look, you have those vintage photos. The vintage photos of the store back in the day. Because it's been at this location for a long time. On the left here is a really cool section we might see later. There's a little cafe area. Friendly Anna runs it. She makes tea or coffee. She has sweet pastries. Coucou Anna. And you can come here and claim a table. And then if you take those stairs right here, you go upstairs to an actual museum. And sometimes you don't know if Maison Empereur is a boutique or a museum because those products take you back in time. But they have their actual museum. I guess you can do that when you've been in business for over 250 years. And we are in Provence, in Marseille. Ricard, of course, pastis is a popular drink. You have to have that as well. It's getting a little busy now. It's late morning. The store opens at 10. So the next section on this floor... Pardon, mesdames. Pardon. Pardon.
Ouais.
This section here has pastry, for pastry chefs. This would be a good section because you have all sorts of molds. All sorts of molds. This is something I picked up, which is a way to carry your pies or your tarts. It has handles and it's monogrammed with Maison Empereur. So that would be a nice thing to bring back as a gift. More molds and ramequins and objects. Anyone for cookies here? There's a giant one. One of them represents Notre-Dame de la Garde, the magnificent church and statue of the Virgin that overlooks Marseille, that protects them, la bonne mère, as they call her. So this is your baking section. Some of you know exactly what to do with this. I may not be one of them. And you hear in the background an employee chatting, and he has this delicious southern accent, very distinctive in Marseille.
Avant, ils le faisaient en fonte.
Oui, voilà.
And now we go to another section. I tell you, it's like a maze. You keep going. you come here and you have the section we would call droguerie. Droguerie, more like a drugstore. We have all sorts of products. If you need dyes for your clothes, if you need stains for your floors. Oh, look at that. If you need a shopping net from the famous company Filt, which is French. They're lovely. Those things get so big. If you go to the beach, you can actually stuff a lot of towels in there. You'd be surprised how much this thing extends. I have a red one with handles, shoulder handles like this. It's very handy. Your baskets, you find them at the local markets as well. Look at all the brushes for your shoes or other uses as well. In the section next door, some more in this section here, still in the droguerie section, and this is where your handyman would probably come here. This is a paradise for whoever likes to fix things, nails, you name it, everything is here. Giant section, it goes all the way to the back. And there's a gardening section in the back as well. Look at that. But all the displays are the original ones and made of wood. And look at all the furniture here. Now, one thing I should point out is the staff. And the staff, like I said, you have people here who have been here for a really long time. And everyone is super friendly. The customer relationship is very important to the owners. And it shows because they will take the time to chat with you. They will take the time to explain to you what the products are, to help you find something. This is something that is very, very important to them. Also, the staff are really experts. And in fact, most of them are dressed just like in the good old days. You see one here in the back wearing that blue work jacket. Le bleu de travail, which since the 19th century has been what working classes would wear in France. So there is that also that traditional aspect here. So wonderful staff, you can always find help, it's lovely. This is probably the nicest smelling section of the store. We're about to go upstairs. This is the section dedicated to the famous Savon de Marseille, which is Marseille soap. You can see the blocks here. It doesn't look, see, these look really unrefined. But to be considered Marseille soap, there's a list of ingredients that have to be in it and at least 70% of oil content. That's why it says 72%. It smells so good. I wish you could smell it with me. Look at those shredded lavender flavored, or lavender scented, I should say, soap. I'm not going to eat it. All sorts of sizes. And this is the Savon de Marseille. My grandmother always had a block of Savon de Marseille on the kitchen sink, and I do the same because it's a great stain remover before doing laundry, or you could get one of these. These work great too. This is also soap, but it's easy to use, and you could rub that on your shirt collars or sleeves before washing, and it works like a charm. Look at this block of soap here, 30 kilograms. That is very, very heavy. I don't think I could lift that, and they sell it for 139 euros. And if you are ready, let us go upstairs. Beautiful staircase, made of wood. And here we are going to arrive, after the serious stuff, quincaillerie, droguerie, we are going to arrive in the section that I like. It's called Art de Vivre, or Art of Living, or Way of Life. So these are all the things you would need. Say you move to Marseille and you need to buy plates or glasses. Well, here you will find the nicest quality, very often products made only in France. They have their own branded mugs. Maison Empereur. If you want to shave the old-fashioned way, gentlemen. So you come here if you want to buy quality, obviously. If you appreciate quality. The store never goes on sale because things are priced to respect the suppliers and their traditions and their craft. So the store never goes on sale. More china. So many things. Imagine the time you save by shopping here. This is beautiful and colorful. When you think of southern France, of Provence, of course, you think of bright colors. And this is it here. And every time you see a product, there is a label. This is La Vérerie de Bio, so Bio, city in southern France, of course, and La Vérerie, so everything that they make made of glass. So it tells you the origin of the products, a little bit like what the French do at local food markets. You always know what you're buying. Does it come from France? Does it come from Italy, Spain? You always know. And now, the fun section for the young and the young at hearts. Youngs at heart, sorry. These are the toys. Imagine how crowded this must be at Christmas time. So it's a mix of, I haven't spotted a single computer here or those games some kids like so much, but more like traditional games, playing marbles. That used to be a healthy pastime back in the day, and it still is for some kids. Lots of marbles, lots of marbles. Le jeu de billes, in French, les billes is what we call it. And then you have those old displays, those wooden displays, and you have more games inside. I'm trying to spot, there's so many things. While I'm filming, I'm trying to spot things I can show you. Board games. I'll go around the other side too, in case I miss something. Oh, here's Pinocchio. Look at Pinocchio. Darling little cars, race cars. Oh, and puppets. Les marionnettes. Look at these lovely puppets. Les marionnettes. With a little theater underneath. I wouldn't mind playing with some of these. So this section is toys. On this side, look at the floors. These hardwood floors. They don't creak too much, so that's good. There's a rooster. Music boxes. More music boxes. Card games, jeux de cartes. Moulin Rôti. Moulin Rôti is a very well-known brand of toys. I have one. Some of you know her, Jeanne Lacan, my stuffed little duck. And it's a brand from Western France near Nantes. They're very respected. I have a giant doll next to me here. So you can see this would be kids' favorite section. Look at the dollhouse. Beautiful dollhouse. This one is sold empty. They say vendu vide. So they sell it empty and you have to decorate it. And of course they have all the things you need to decorate the dollhouse. Because of course they do. You get the picture. More old-fashioned games. Oh, there's a seagull above my head and a montgolfière. Giant teddy bear. And here is une ardoise. So when I was in elementary school, I guess this dates me, this is how we learned to count and to write. So we would have a piece of chalk, slightly larger slate, maybe slightly larger. And once you could do this with chalk, learn how to write your cursives with chalk, then we would be upgraded to paper with ink, an actual quill, mind you. So yes, it does date me, doesn't it? But kids still use that, and of course that word ardoise you find in French restaurants still today. L'ardoise is the board where they have all the specials, les plats du jour. So we still use this. And look at all these old-fashioned games here. The game of the 7 mistakes. 18 magical stories or images. This is great to travel with. Now there's a hotel right above the store that's being completely restored right now. So that's what you hear in the background, maybe, the construction sounds. More games. Ne pas toucher. Ne pas toucher is an important sign in France. You want to tell your kids when you go around stores. I know it's not the same all over the world. In French boutiques and stores, they do not like people touching things a whole lot, and they prefer you ask for help. So when you need to reach for something, it's probably best to ask. Continue. So still in the art de vivre section. So we are going to discover some of the items you need in your house. And I spot a bedroom, so that tells me we have more linens in that section. Look at the lovely crib, her baby, an old bed, and all the linens you might need. Wool, cotton. We will talk about the fabrics a little bit later. This is all you need for your bed in lovely colors. More beautiful fabrics. If you've been to Provence, you know that this is a traditional pattern called Indienne, les Indiennes, Indian pattern, because it came from India before they started making them here, and not just in Provence, in other parts as well, other parts of France. A few steps and a few stairs here. You can go inside the bathroom section. Look at this bathtub, an antique bathtub. It smells good in here as well. Cuckoo. It smells here. It smells very, very good. So you have your eau de Cologne. Eau de Cologne is what traditionally you use after your bath. You rub some on your body, you put some on a cotton ball. When we were kids, they would have us do that behind our ears as well. Make sure we were really clean. L'eau de Cologne. All sorts of brands here. Oh, look. Eau de Menton. L'eau de Menton, made in the lovely town of Menton by the Italian border. Made with lemons, of course. Menton has a renowned lemon festival since 1947. I have tried it and it smells divine. Other brands as well. Eau rafraîchissante. And look at the bottles, so pretty. So you can get everything here. Steps down. Look at this old piece of furniture where you can buy handles. All sorts of handles. And again, here it says, ne pas se servir, merci, which means do not help yourself, ask for help. You have to respect that when you go to France or you will get in trouble. More jars, candles, lots of candles made in France. The pineapple, which is always a welcome symbol, people like to put that by their front door, and this is made by the very old company as well, and it's a candle. Look at the leather bags here, the leather work bags. Quality of that leather. Is this a picnic basket? It could be a picnic basket. All right. Fabrics that you can buy, whatever you need here. They'll measure it for you. Here's the tool of the trade, of course, le mètre. This is what they use to measure. All sorts of fabrics for your house, indoors, outdoors. they'll help you. Some robes, cotton and linen. You can see the size of the place. I mean, it's massive. And we're on the first European floor here. We're about to see my favorite sections because they really focus on life in Provence, in southern France. You have two staircases, spiral staircases. It's like going up the Eiffel Tower. Look at that. On both sides. And it says under the beams here, Art de vivre en Provence. So we're going to check out what they have and maybe spot a few local traditions. There is a nice hat collection. I really like it because they show you hats from different French regions or different types of hat with their French names, like le melon, le breton from Brittany. The flat one over there is la Provençal, la creusoise, and of course from my hometown, Toulouse. This is another one here. Now, oh, this is a nautical section. So I expect to see the famous French brands you already know. Le Caban, made of wool typically, and then all the striped nautical shirts and sweaters that you have here. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but in France we also have cowboys. Yep, we have cowboys and they are known as les gardiens. And you typically find them in a specific part of La Provence, which is where the Rhône River ends, right before the Mediterranean in a delta. And there's a beautiful regional park there. And those gardiens, cowboys, work with bulls, of course, partly wild bulls and horses as well. And they have traditional wear, traditional gear. And a lot of them can be seen wearing shirts with very specific prints, like the ones you see here. We've mentioned les Indiennes before, so the kind of bright colors. They roll up the sleeves in the summer. They have pants, cotton pants typically, and also some vests. And the ladies, you know, you have some ladies who are gardiens, and the ladies have that kind of pants specific for them. And look at the boats, the boots. The boots are for those gardiens as well. Specific model that are made for them. And here is in fact a good representation of what a gardien would look like with his vest and his colorful shirt as well. So there's a little bit more upstairs and I'm going to take you there, up this very crooked spiral staircase. More old photos here. I really like this section of the store because it's really a nice way of showcasing the traditions in this part of France. Rebonjour. Ça va? Okay, so here is a lovely place. Right at the top of the store, you have some lovely fabrics here. You may recognize the ones on the right, la toile de Jouy, which is made traditionally outside Paris in a city called Jouy en Josas. And so many artifacts, products from clothing to jewelry to pots and wares for the house. So I'm going to walk around and show you a few things. Right here on the right hand side, you have the famous Santons de Provence, les Santons, which you find by the Christmas manger, and they will represent typically the people in a Provençal village, but there are also a few celebrities there. You have here this gentleman, he's Paul Cézanne, the painter. You also have Alphonse Daudet, gentleman with the beard. You know, he wrote a lot of stories set in La Provence. And the famous Frédéric Mistral, a writer and poet who won the Nobel Literature Prize writing in the local language, in Occitan, and helped revive this culture here. Les cigales, cicadas. Of course, the sound of the cicadas is something you hear in the background always when you are in southern France. They are supposed to protect a home and to bring luck. So a lot of the manufacturers still make them, in particular in Aubagne, a small town outside Marseille, where famous writer and movie maker Marcel Pagnol was born. You see them here, and so you can hang them on the walls in your house. Look how big these are, and they help protect your house. Look at this lovely fabric here. And the chairs, just hanging there on the wall. More fabrics here. This jewelry line is quite striking as well. This is, of course, olive tree wood. The olive trees are everywhere. And you can get boards, slicing boards, utensils to serve salads, and all sorts of things made of that beautiful wood. And a lot of these traditional homes that make those products are represented here at Maison Empereur, of course. Quite lively colors, always. The yellows and the ochres are big in Provence. Here's a great book, La Cuisinière Provençale. So it hasn't been translated, it has not been translated in other languages so far, but these are all your basic recipes that you could find on a Provençal table. And it's yellow, of course, it has to be, I guess. Les espadrilles, those shoes, handmade shoes, and I promised that we would talk about a few traditions. This is les vœux de naissance. This is a custom in the Provence. You see this little box. And this little box had a few artifacts in it. So when a child is born, you gift his parents or her parents with those objects. And those objects, which are very small, there's some salt, there's some honey, and you have to say the words at the same time. So here, of course, they are in the Provençal language. I won't dare pronounce that. But there is a French translation, which I'll translate in English. So as you gift the parents with this little box, you have to read those different things. The first one is qu'il soit bon comme du pain, may he be as good as bread. Qu'il soit sain comme le sel, may he be healthy like salt. Qu'il soit droit comme une allumette, may he be as straight as a match. Qu'il soit plein comme un œuf, may he be full as an egg. And this is a reference to his head, a head well filled. Qu'il soit doux comme le miel, may he be as sweet as honey. So this is a very pretty, very cute, sweet tradition here in Provence. The box is 12 euros, in case you're wondering, because they do have an online shop, if you're interested in getting that. And here are more of these beautiful pots. You see the cicadas on the side, cicadas everywhere. So Provence is one of those French regions that is very much attached to its traditions and even its language, and that is not uncommon in France, which is why France is such an interesting country to visit. There's so much diversity everywhere. And here is one that the friendly employee showed me earlier. This, my friends, is actually a rattle. And so inside you have seven things that represent the 7 sins. But if you get this to a child, to his parents, when he is born, it's for good luck. And so in a way, in France, it's called a hochet, the rattle, the baby rattle. So you have several pebbles that symbolizes the 7 cardinal sins. And in the past, they would offer these to a future child, so he would be spared and would never experience the 7 sins. And they still do this in other regions in France, like La Vendée, which is in western France. So those traditions are alive and well. And here, in this case, is a representation of when you celebrate your anniversary, wedding anniversaries. In France, they have a name for every few years or so. Noces is les noces is the name of the wedding in French, and they refer to often of, you know, so like here, for example, you have the coquelicot. Let's take this one. Coquelicot is for 6 years. When you've been married 6 years, your noce, your anniversary, refers to this pretty flower, le coquelicot. And then you go all the way down, of course, to 50 years, 50-year anniversary, 60-year anniversary. And the one is diamond, which is the very last one when you've been married for how many years? 68 or 9, I can hardly read. So traditions are alive and well here at Maison Empereur and in Provence as well. On the wall you have a slideshow that they project old photos. Oh, look at that, la pétanque, bocce ball. That of course is everywhere here in southern France. Lots of traditions, and that also draws you straight into the ambiance that Maison Empereur recreates by selling the wares of all those traditional or less traditional manufacturers that are based in France. I hope you've enjoyed this visit of Maison Empereur, and I thought we would wrap up at my favorite corner of the store museum, which is right here, the little coffee shop. And friendly Anna is here, and look, she set up some mimosa. It's seasonal, it smells so good. I'm not going to have a Ricard because it's not quite lunchtime. Bonjour Anna.
Hello.
Ça va?
Hello everybody. Oui, tout va bien.
Je prendrai une petite noisette, s'il vous plaît.
Très bien.
Petit café noisette.
Ouais.
Je peux m'installer là?
Installez-vous, vous avez que l'embarras du choix et
Ah.
vous pouvez vous asseoir où vous voulez.
Merci beaucoup, Anna. Merci. So I'm going to sit here. This is where they have the book of the Maison Empereur. It's an awesome book. It tells you the history of the company and shows you so many products and vintage photos. I've learned a lot just by flipping through the pages here, and of course through talking with the friendly staff, just like Anna. They're just so friendly here. It's wonderful. And if you go up those stairs, that would take you to two more floors, which is the little museum they have created to remember the origins of the store, as well as some brands, some old brands, French brands that they sell here. So we're going to have this little coffee. Voila, friends, it's time to say goodbye. I'm sitting in the little cafe here at Maison Empereur, enjoying a café noisette, my favorite, and of course a local cookie, the famous navette. I'm going to do a little video to tell you more about that too. But it's perfect to dunk because it's pretty hard, so it keeps its shape. You know, the French love to dunk. At any rate, I hope you have enjoyed this tour today. I forgot to mention that Maison Empereur is located in a very famous district in Marseille. It's called the Noailles district. And Noailles district is a historic area, but today it's known as the belly of Marseille. There's a famous market here. There are a lot of eateries and restaurants, spice shops that really reflect the all the ethnicities represented in Marseille, the oldest city in France, which is also a port city, which means it's been welcoming throughout its history. A very unique place, and I urge you to visit it. And when you come to Marseille, why not visit La Maison Empereur as well? Whether you're shopping for yourself, whether you're shopping for friends, whether you just want to learn more about French traditions and very solid, very reliable French manufacture or brands. At any rate, it was lovely to show you around today. À très bientôt. See you soon for the next virtual tour.